here at Managua. I woke up at 4 o'clock, so instead of leaving for the 6:15, 6:20 bus, which may or may not have been there, I just got dressed and left. Had a taxi driver, 5 of them went by. I finally got one that would take me that time in the morning. And he drove a different route, so we got to the gate where the buses are leaving. Instead of driving me into the station, as I got there, a bus with a dog pulled up to the gate. So, and I got up here at this station and asked one of the locals about San Carlos, and he took me through the station to the ticket booth. So I got a ticket to go to San Carlos in an hour. That's working pretty well. It was just as a glimpse. Food, snacks, buses, typical bus station chaos, nice people. I started dreaming about this place more than 20 years ago. I was actually reading the Bud Kessler novel. And they were heading down the Rio San Juan in Nicaragua. And the description in the book was so profound and delicious. I put the book down and go do a Google search to find out if it was actually a real place. And I found out it is. I also learned that it's just across the border from Costa Rica. On the other side of the border is Portuguero, which is known as the Amazon of Central America. Very expensive, more developed, a lot more people. Across the border into Nicaragua, and it's almost identical habitat. It changed a lot. And so I started wanting to come here. It wasn't easy or safe to get here for a while. Local transport. And so it's kind of a pinch myself moment after 20 or 20 plus years of having this in the back of my mind and just remembering their profound description. Here I am. So this is another one of those moments. A moment that is someday. Someday is today again. Where I had a dream, had an idea, wanted to have an experience, found a way to make it happen. This trip has been quite a lot of planning. And I'm getting more astute at separating glossy, glowing, SEO-based descriptions narrated in such a way to drive traffic to a website, and then getting to places and finding out that the reality is much more crappy than the description was. So on this trip, I've been feeling really pleased with being able to separate that information. And I'd say the most important part, especially those last 3 or 4 weeks, flexibility. Adaptability. There's no clear information on schedules. So like this morning, yesterday I was told even by one of the officers at the boatyard that the fast boat left at 7 a.m. and the slower boat left at 8 a.m. And the difference was the slow boat's 2 hours longer. And I thought, hey, I'm going to take the slow boat. So with noise last night, people partying, kind of a dumpy place where I was staying. But it was comfortable. I had a dipper shower this morning. If you don't know what that is, look it up. Fortunately, the dipper shower here is fresh water, not salt water, which it is on some of the islands. So when the roosters and dogs and things went off, I wound up getting up really early and got showered. I couldn't get out of the hotel because it was locked and the night guard had gone somewhere. So eventually the owner came and let me out. And I got a ticket. I was like the 5th person to get a ticket. And then I looked at the time, and it was for departure at 7:45. So I had well over an hour and a half. And the departure at 7:45 is to be ready to get on the boat that leaves at 8. And the boat that leaves at 8 is the fast boat, which is okay because last night we had more rain. This morning we had more rain. And what you're seeing now is the first time that rain has let up this morning, so I kind of put in a request to Mother Nature to give me a 2-hour break So the place I'm staying is a pretty deluxe lodge by my standards. I've stayed in places like this on one or two times on a trip just to have an awesome experience that's normally out of my price range. And I contacted these guys and they've been awesome. So they're actually bringing their boat upriver, picking me up and taking me back down to the edge of Indio Maíz Bioreserve, which is what I really wanted to see. So this is the beginning of that experience, and I just wanted to capture a little bit of it and share it with you. So there you go. Ciao. I have arrived. So I just did a short video from the boat that I'll post with this at some time. I was reading a mystery novel from Clive Cussler, and Dirk Pitt and his buddy Al Giordino were doing some project that wound up bringing them through Nicaragua. And in the middle of this novel, they had these 2 or 3, maybe 2 paragraphs of them describing what they saw and experienced when they took the boat through here. And I was so stunned I had to go look it up on the internet to see if it was real. Since then I've dreamt of coming. A year or 2 after I read that, I was in Vietnam, a place in Hanoi called the Bia Hoi. Bia Hoi is Vietnamese for beer, and it's a corner where people sit on tiny little plastic chairs and tables, and it's an organic, evolving, constantly changing crowd of people. And a young man and his girlfriend came up and sat down and introduced himself, and we started talking and asking me about places I'd been. And I mentioned that I'd wanted to go to this place. It's an adventure I haven't had yet, but I just read about it. And he looked at me and goes, "Oh, I was there." And he had seen a National Geographic article on the same trip. So at that time there was a guide in the village where I got dropped off today, El Castillo, and he would load up canoes and take people down to the Caribbean coast, paddling for a week or more. And what this man told me, he's from New Zealand, he's a Kiwi, he told me that they had to be really careful to move their camp far enough away from the river to be outside the zone of the crocodiles, and that they had to make sure that they couldn't swim in the river because of the bull sharks, and so they would find a little tributary that was shallow enough the crocodiles couldn't get in there. So this is the place that I read about and that he described to me, and that's why I call this one of my someday. So, someday I'm going to go there. Well, here I am. And I'd seen this lodge I posted online months ago. In the course of looking for places to go here, I just found it really complicated. And somehow I stumbled across Guacimo Lodge. I posted that on Facebook. If you're interested, let me know. I'll post it again. I wrote to the lodge, and the owner, Manuel, was just so helpful. So I just got off the boat. His manager, Brian, walked me up. And this is my bungalow. So it's encased in mosquito netting. Really comfy bed. For the next 3 days, I'm the only guest here. Got a bottle of water in my room for refilling. And then I go to the bathroom out this back door. Oh, who's that guy? Look like you've been on a windy boat. This is the bathroom and the shower. And if I had neighbors, I don't think they'd be close enough for me to hear them. So I have this special place for 3 nights. I didn't think I would stay longer, but I might, since my plans changed with the experiences I've had in San Carlos and then here. So when I come back up to this front deck, this is the view from the marketing material that I saw on their website. This is my view. Now, why in the world would I want to leave this and go anywhere? So I've already seen a couple types of birds I've never seen before. We walked underneath the tree that the scarlet macaws are feeding on in the morning and in the afternoon. down this path, past that sidewalk, that roof that you see over there, is a dining area with hammocks and rockers. And so I am thrilled. You know, I always try to find something special once in a while to book and have an experience that's not what I would normally have. And sometimes, you know, I found when I go to a really nice restaurant, I've been disappointed because the food was not good. Or I've gone to a really expensive lodge and it turned out that the marketing was great, but the lodge was not so much. And then here I got off the boat and started walking up this hill. I'm like, oh my God, I am so happy that I picked this place. Yes, good choice. All right, so now it's getting on around noon. It's hot. They have a deck down by the boat, but for 2 weeks they've had rain, so the top of the deck isn't visible. On the other side of the river, that's Costa Rica. So this is how close I am to the forest just outside of Tortuguero and that sort of thing. That's Costa Rica. All right, so there's my latest treat for myself, which I'm just thrilled about. I mean, here it's peaceful and quiet. When I got to the town yesterday, San Carlos, I thought I would stay there for a couple of days and look around. I stayed in a place that was kind of a dump, but then I realized all of the places in San Carlos are about the same. So I had a $10 room with a comfy bed, cold shower from a dipping bin, thin walls so I could hear people partying until 2 o'clock in the morning. And as I walked around and looked at other places, they're all the same. They didn't have any soap, so I went to borrow some soap to use in the shower, and I got charged for that. And then this morning, when I got up early, it's one more of those experiences of talking to people and finally getting a clear sense of what the schedule is. The fast boat leaves at 7 a.m. The slower boat leaves at 8 a.m. and it stops at all the villages, and you get to see how people live. And when I woke up at before 5 o'clock, I thought, well, meditate for a while, and cleaned up and loaded my pack and headed over to buy a ticket for the 7 o'clock boat. And I was there about 6:45. And then he wrote a note, and I looked at it, and it's like 7:45. And so I was able to talk to him with Spanish, and 7:45 is the gathering time. 8 o'clock is the departure time, and 8 o'clock is the fast boat. So it turns out that the fast boat isn't that fast. So it was just perfect for me. Plus, rained last night, rained this morning, stopped raining as soon as we got in the boat, got ready to go. So I was sitting on the side of the boat the whole time with my camera, taking some photos. So here I am, Guacimo Lodge. And if you're interested, let me know, I'll post that again. And I'm planning to do not a lot. This is a place for being. I'm gonna practice some more of that. So, ciao. Hope y'all doing awesome. This is all sign language. And I found this place. I found this place just by walking down the street. The hostel I'm staying at recommended I go to the Central Market. Those are hammock vendors. This is a community-based business, and the wall has sign language on it everywhere. People here don't hear. So when I buy a hammock here, money supports the whole community. They're different than the Yucatan. Cotton, heavier strain, more strain, and it's much more comfortable. So again, one of those magic moments of just, I was looking for a coffee shop and this caught my eye, came in here, and it's really perfect. So this is Granada, Nicaragua, on a Saturday night. I've just had a great catch-up day. Met interesting people. Went down to the pier to watch the sunset. Stopped at Mona Lisa for the most amazing pizza. The family that moved here from Verona, Italy. Now I'm on my way back to the hostel. And this is what's going on in the Central Plaza. This is Sunday morning at the plaza. The city has a really quiet feel to it today. As with the brochures for tours and trips to the islands. And these are all lined up here. People are riding around and exploring the city. So, it's a really nice morning, momentito. So I really enjoy this village. It's been very nice.